There she is. Yay!
Hi.
Wonderful. Glad to see you.
Great.
So, for introductions, this is Sue from American Home Shield, and we're going to talk about home warranties today and why you need them as a buyer or as a seller. So, first of all, Sue, can you tell us how long you've been in this field and I guess a little bit about American Home Shield itself?
Yeah. So I've only been doing this about 6 years, whereas in this industry, like so many people have been doing it for 20, 25 years. It is a fun business, so people tend to stay in it. Prior to this, I was doing medical and life insurance, which was really fun and great, but this offered a lot more flexibility and a little less structure. And I love working with agents. So it was kind of a really great fit. And American Home Shield has been around forever. They actually started the warranty industry back in the 70s, and they're the largest, like by far the largest company that does warranties. We write almost 48% of the home warranties in the country. I think the
Wow.
biggest players like 10 or 11%. So just to give you a scale of what that's like, because when you're working with service companies or insurance companies, you want a company with a lot of resources. It's kind of like you, Lauren, working with Keller Williams.
Mhm.
It's kind of a different animal than if you were to go off by yourself, and different resources, different technology. So it's a great company. All we do is warranties. We are not a big financial company that has like 4% of our business in warranties. We're 100% warranties. So
Nice.
color on the background of American Home Shield and me. And yeah, it's a great company. I love working for them.
Wonderful. Yeah, so Sue's actually the home warranty rep for American Home Shield that is like dedicated to our office. So that's how we know each other. And I've worked with her on pretty much, I think, all of my deals. So I really appreciate you. For those out there, because I know there will be quite a few. Hi, Mimi. Uh, can you explain what a home warranty is?
Sure. So, first and foremost, it's just budget protection. You buy a home or you move into a new home, and especially in this real estate environment where people are paying top dollar for their homes. And really stretching the limits as far as what they're able to afford. The last thing you need is an air conditioning system or water heater system to break down and you have a bill of $3,000, So first and foremost, it's a service that's going to protect your budget. It doesn't cover everything. Specifically, we cover things like appliances and major systems, air conditioning, heating, things like that. But it doesn't cover everything, so you want to have realistic expectations. It's not a magic wand that's going to come in and replace all of your old appliances just because it's still finished. But when something breaks down, that's when you call your warranty company.
Okay. So you said it helps, they'll help with the major systems of the house. So let's say the HVAC goes out and you're a new buyer, but you have this home warranty. What happens?
hmm Okay, so good question because that happens all the time, actually.
Hmm.
That's probably our most popular call is the HVAC system. And all you do, it's a really pretty simple process. You go online, you go to our site, put in your address, click on your HVAC system, pay a $75 service fee, and you're automatically dispatched to a licensed repair person. So that's going to be like within 2 minutes. You're going to have the phone number, you call them, you set up an appointment, and that technician has to be available to you within 2 business days. So you're not going to hear, oh, we can't get there for 2 weeks like some other warranty companies.
Mm.
It's a pretty tight cycle. And even with COVID and the craziness that we've had with, every technician is understaffed, like every business right out there right now. We've done a pretty good job of sticking to that 2 business day for the first diagnosis. And if not, there are workarounds. Maybe we can get you an outside authorization if it's an extreme case to get your own person out there.
Okay. So then let's say the whole HVAC needs to be replaced. They need a new system. They
Mhm.
pay the $75 fee. The guy comes out, says, hey, this whole thing is terrible. You need a new one. How
Mhm.
much on average, is the home warranty saving somebody compared to if they didn't have that in place?
That I love that question because that goes back to it's saving you. It's not like going to be replaced tomorrow. It might take a little longer than if you didn't have a warranty, but the bottom line is it's saving you money. So in that example, let's say it's a condo, and let's say we're putting in, you know, an a typical like 1,500 square feet unit that would handle that. That would be probably a $2,800 job, and we would cover everything except for the $75 service fee that you paid. And then we also would only cover a certain percentage of the modification charges. So modification charges come up when we have to bring the whole system up to code. So typically we're replacing really old systems. Code has changed dramatically in like the past 15 years. So yeah, so you might need a different type of slab, you might need different connectors, all kinds of things will come into play there. And those costs can go, pretty high. But currently we cover $250 of that modification charge. And that is something that, it kind of is going to vary with your plan. But so you could cover, let's say we cover 250 and the charges are 500. The buyer's paying the $75 service fee and then the $250 in modification charges. And the rest of it, the $2,800 less that amount, is covered by the company. So it's a big savings. Yeah.
Yeah, just as a little share for everyone, on my very first deal as a brand new agent, and this, I'm kind of sidestepping something here. Home warranty plans can be given to buyers, but also to sellers. And oftentimes us agents will purchase a home warranty for our sellers, so that during the listing transaction, if something comes up in their home, they have this home warranty that they can go to, and it'll be a lot less expensive than if it wasn't there, right? So on my first listing transaction, I actually did not know to order a home warranty for my seller. No one had told me that. And what happened was that during our escrow, about halfway through escrow, the water heater went out and needed to be replaced and brought to code. And so it ended up costing my sellers almost $3,000, somewhere around there. And had I known to have a home warranty in place for them, they could have saved quite a bit of money. So yeah, home warranties are for buyers and for sellers. They can be for both. And another thing is for buyers, pretty much any buyer here in home, any buyer here in LA or Ventura County, when you purchase your home, you're going to get a home warranty. You need to remember to renew that at the end of the first year. And that's another just very quick story. My first home that I purchased was a condo. I was 28. And at the time I didn't really understand what a home warranty was. So at the end of the year, I was like, why am I getting this bill for this home warranty for next year? I don't want this. So I didn't pay it. And guess what? 2 weeks later, I had a plumbing situation that could have been taken care of for much cheaper by the home warranty. Instead, I went through my insurance. So well, yeah.
Happen, be sure to call your rep because there could be a grace period where we could tag you on, so don't, renewals, you have about 30 days in there. So play with that too. Those are good stories, Lauren. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So oh, sorry. Were you going to share something?
No, it's just going to tag on to that seller's coverage. Yesterday morning, we had one where the agent was covering both the buyer and the seller, and the heater went out, the furnace, and we replaced it. The seller was going to give the buyer a $10,000 allowance if the warranty company denied the claim. So, of course, we didn't deny the claim. We had no idea that they were thinking it would be $10,000. But the final scenario is we did get it changed out before close of escrow, and the cost to the seller was $600.
Oh my God! They thought it would be $10,000.
Yeah. So it can be a real win if you do have that seller's coverage on there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, who in a buy-sell transaction, if the buyers are, going to buy the house, who pays typically for the home warranty?
Good question. The warranty is part of the offer. So it's part of that contract with the offer. And I would say, I mean, statistically, it used to be 75% of the time there was a warranty included with a residential transaction. In this environment, it's actually gone up because buyers are paying top dollar for their homes and they're so stretched. And this is really a safety net financially for them. So typically, I would say 90% of the time it's the seller paying, but we are seeing a lot of agents paying, just for like the minimal coverage, and then the buyer can add on if they want appliances added or pool or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
typically, the seller, absolutely. And it makes sense if you think about it, because the last thing the seller wants to hear a month after they've closed escrow is that they're being sued by a buyer, or that a buyer is like pursuing something uh, legal, just
Mm-hmm.
failed. They involved it all, and this is really their safety net on that score.
Absolutely. So yes, we need it in place. Typically sellers pay for the buyer's coverage. If for some reason they won't, maybe the agent will, or maybe the buyer buys their own.
Mm-hmm.
And like Sue mentioned, you can always add upgrades. So it doesn't have to be just the basic large appliances of the house, like the HVAC, the water heater, and the plumbing, the electrical, but it can be, you can add roof onto there. You can add the pool, like you said, you can add various other things along with that, right?
Yeah, you have 90 days actually to add things on. So it's pretty generous as far as that goes. Bottom line is that, we want it to be a good experience. We don't, the last thing we want is for a buyer's expectations to be unrealistic, or them caught without appliance coverage and two of their appliances go down. We want it to be a good experience for them. So we're going to really work in that direction. And if that means adding things on, we have a generous time frame to add things on.
That's very nice. Is there anything else that you think buyers or sellers should know about home warranties?
Yeah, I think it's really important that realistic expectations are set by the agents. What you don't want, again, is a bad experience, because warranties don't cover everything. Like, we don't cover solar panels. Yesterday, an agent called and said, the water heater's powered by the solar panels on the roof. I'm like, well, then it's not covered, like,
Oh.
there's certain things that are not covered. And I don't know any warranty company that would cover that. That's, just in general, warranties are going to cover things that break down just from natural everyday use, normal everyday use, not anything extraordinary like a branch falls on your AC unit. That wouldn't be covered. You put something not dishwasher safe in your dishwasher and it clogs the line, it's going to be covered, or anything that was already compromised before you closed escrow. So we call those pre-existing conditions. Any detectable pre-existing conditions, those are not going to be covered by a warranty company. Just like if you're in a car accident today and you don't have car insurance, 6 months later you get car insurance, you can expect the insured to then cover the accident you had 6 months prior. It's the same. It's kind of the same concept. And the other thing we don't ever cover is a breakdown that's caused by a missing part. So if you see on your inspection that the inspector noted, oh, sediment trap's missing, well, get that replaced before you call your warranty company.
Yeah.
They'll deny the entire claim if they see a note like that on an inspection, or if a part's missing. And then the fourth thing that's never covered by a warranty company is secondary damage. So, your freezer starts leaking. We'll come in and we'll repair or replace the freezer, but we're not going to repair or replace the hardwood floors that were ruined because of the leaking. That maybe your homeowners will cover, but definitely not your home warranty company. So those four things are things that will never be covered by the company. I know you say never, but
Right?
pretty much never are. Yeah.
That's good to know.
They cover a lot. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and one more tip. I remembered you've taught me this over the years, is that each claim needs to be filed separately. So if the the plumbing for some reason is leaking and you call the home warranty, you pay your $75 service fee, the guy comes out. But while he's there, you realize there's another issue. And so you direct him to go look at that. Well, guess what? He's not going to be able to do that. You need to make another call, right?
Actually, you know what? That's a good point. That's a yes and a no answer when you say
Ah,
right. First of all, just like medical insurance, when they charge you a copay, if you're seeing the dentist and then you're seeing the eye doctor, that's going to be two different copays. That's the same way warranty companies work. So in that scenario, if you have three plumbing issues that you want that plumber to look at, you just need to let us know at least 24 hours before he goes out there so that we can add it to his workload, because that's how they schedule themselves, you know, in time frames of how many things are they doing. Now, if you ever get yourself caught in a scenario like you just said, where, oh gosh, an hour ahead of time, you know, you realize, well, then you can still call American Home Shield and have them add it and you won't be charged another $75. But if he actually walks in the door and then you say, oh, by the way, chances are he's going to say, I'm going to have to come back and you're going to have to pay another $75 service fee. Yeah, but just bundle as many things. Like if we're sending an appliance guy out, you have 4 appliances, it's only one service fee. If we're sending a plumber out, electrician out, it just goes by how many guys we're sending out there, how many technicians.
that makes sense.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, this is wonderful. I can't think of any other questions, and I don't see any in the chat. Um, but I really appreciate your time. And did you want to share your contact info if people do have questions?
Sure. And you know what? I can put it in the chat. So we can do that. And thanks for inviting me to join you today, Lauren. This was fun. We'll have to do.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you too and your whole office, home away from home. So have a great rest of your day. And